Hello, I'm Darren again. The topic for today's video is the third part in a series looking at intimacy and relationships. In the first part, I looked at the importance of intimacy and some of the reasons why it can sometimes be lacking. In the second part, I looked at how narcissistic people can sometimes control, even withhold, the intimacy in their relationships. Today, I'm going to be looking at some of the long-term effects of being in a relationship where there is no emotional closeness or intimacy of any kind. Now, there are different kinds of intimacy. There's emotional, physical, sexual, and so on. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to refer to a loveless relationship. And that would refer to a relationship where the frequency of intimacy, affection, sexual encounters, or any kind of emotional connection between two people has either significantly declined or has ceased altogether. So if you find this video interesting, please consider subscribing to my channel. And first of all, I do think it's important to note that the importance of sex can vary between person to person, couple to couple. Some people might feel that sex is absolutely vital in a relationship, whereas others might feel that other types of intimacy and connection are more important. Some people believe that all kinds of intimacy are important to make their relationship healthy. But when it comes to a lack of sex in a relationship, sometimes there can be legitimate reasons, such as an illness, an injury, or perhaps a sexual dysfunction of some kind. Although this can be difficult for one, sometimes both of the partners, there can still be love and affection. There's still an emotional connection. There is still intimacy between them. And with the right kind of support, couples can work together to find ways to navigate through these difficulties. But when it comes to being in a loveless relationship, well, the following are the potential responses to unmet needs and dissatisfaction. And first of all, there can be an emotional dissatisfaction. Intimacy often plays a crucial role in building and maintaining emotional closeness and trust. A lack of intimacy can lead to feelings of emotional disconnection, loneliness, frustration, and a diminished sense of closeness between the two people. And withholding sex and affection can create an emotional distance and strain on the relationship. The lack of physical, emotional intimacy can lead to a diminished sense of connection, affection, even their overall emotional bond. Secondly, people in a loveless relationship may start questioning how important they are really to the other person. They may question their attractiveness, their desirability, their overall self-worth. It can also negatively impact their self-esteem. It can have a negative impact on their body image. It can affect their overall identity and their self-perception. And in the long term, people can experience a wide range of emotions, including frustration, sadness, disappointment, and a continuing sense of rejection. Can bring up feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. They can also experience a decline in their self-confidence. There can also be a buildup of sexual tension and frustration. This can lead to increased stress levels, which can impact people's overall well-being and their ability to cope in other aspects of their life. The absence of love in a relationship can generate tension, resentment, and conflicts. There can be a breakdown of trust and increased arguments. The partner who desires sex or indeed any kind of emotional intimacy can feel frustrated, unfulfilled, and deprived whenever their needs are consistently unmet. It can also be a breakdown in communication. People might struggle to be able to express their needs, their desires, or any kind of concerns regarding the relationship, especially if they're not being listened to or just continually dismissed. And this can further exacerbate the feelings of frustration and disconnect between them. Over a long period of time, it can also lead to feelings of resentment towards the partner for withholding whatever love and affection there is, further disconnecting them both emotionally and damaging the overall relationship. Now, when one or both partners feel unfilled sexually or emotionally, they may turn to pornography as a way to satisfy their sexual desires or fantasies. And pornography might provide a temporary escape or a source of sexual stimulation. However, excessive or compulsive use of pornography can create further disconnection within the relationship. It can create even more problems. It may contribute to unrealistic expectations and even further dissatisfaction. A lack of intimate connection in a relationship can also lead to affairs, both emotional and physical, and I'll explain the difference. An emotional affair is much more than just a friendship. When the emotional connection in a relationship is weak due to a lack of intimacy, this can bring up a huge sense of loneliness in someone, and they may seek fulfillment outside the relationship. An emotional affair is when a person forms a deep emotional bond with someone other than their partner. And also, a sexless relationship can drive individuals to seek sexual satisfaction outside of the relationship. But both kinds of affairs can lead to deceit and further disconnection. They can bring up feelings of guilt and shame. And lastly, what can happen when someone has been rejected for so long on so many levels? When they've been starved of even the most basic needs for emotional connection that we all have? Can be when the partner who's been withholding the love and affection does maybe reach out once in a while. Now, even if they are being genuine, they have needs of their own too, remember. So maybe they do reach out, they're being genuine, they're not necessarily trying to manipulate. Well, the person who has been rejected for so long can just feel so indifferent. It's like it doesn't matter anymore. They have little to no interest in anything the partner has to offer them. They're done. So to summarize, when one kind of intimacy diminishes or is withheld over a long period of time, other kinds of intimacy suffer as well, resulting in a less fulfilling and disconnected relationship. It affects them both in the sense that it affects their overall closeness, their emotional bond, their connection. It also affects the individual in the sense that there's a decreased sexual satisfaction, frustration, a lot of unfulfilled desires. They can question their identity, their self-worth, impacting their self-esteem and their overall confidence. I often say there's a minimum of two people in a relationship, therefore it takes a minimum of two people to make it work. I think it's important to address these issues in the relationship through open and honest communication. Professional help and support, such as couples therapy, can help provide guidance and support in rebuilding and strengthening the relationship. So that's just a brief outline of some of the potential effects a loveless relationship can have on someone. As always, if there's anything I've missed, please feel free to use the comment box below. There are some interesting conversations start from these videos. But if you find this video interesting, please consider subscribing to my channel, and until next time, thanks for watching.